Good afternoon, friends and Rotarians. It's a pleasure to have you here today for today's meeting. I first want to thank President-elect Carl for filling in for me these last two in-person meetings. I watched them online, and I think we're all looking forward to his year. Unfortunately, you're stuck with me for a little bit longer. In all seriousness, it's good to be back. Thank you, Carl. Let's start today's program with a pledge and invocation from Joe Moore, followed by guest introductions from Ben Jones, and new member introductions from Cody Burrows.
Thank you, President Daniel. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for this day and this opportunity to gather. As we embark upon a new year, let us first express our deep gratitude for the many blessings you bestowed upon us in 2024. Our lives, our families and friends, our homes, and the freedom to choose our own paths in life. We now look forward to 2025 and new opportunities, challenges, and adventures that await us. Thank you for new beginnings. Renew our spirits and grant us wisdom, guidance, and courage to meet these challenges to the benefit of those around us, using the four-way test as our guide. We ask for your protection over our lives and the lives of our families and friends. Please grant us hope, joy, and peace in 2025. Amen. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, now for guest introductions, please stand when I say your name. Host Rotarian Brian Bovaird, guest Zoe Hale. Host Rotarian Brian Bovaird, guest Amanda Fisher. Host Rotarian Dylan Harden, guest Connie Nance. Host Rotarian Jesse Guardiola, guest Joe Drotton. Host Rotarian Taylor Giat, guest Ben Pressman. Host Rotarian Taylor Giat, guest Deborah Bright. Host Rotarian DJ Morrow, guest Paul Myers. Host Rotarian DJ Morrow, guest Austin Wheeler. Host Rotarian DJ Morrow, guest Connor McCauley. Host Rotarian Carl Vincent with his daughter Carolyn Vincent. We have a prospective member here with us today, Miss Abigail McClelland. And then we have two visiting Rotarians from the South Side Rotary, Larry Boyer. Hi. Larry. And all the way from Geneva, Switzerland, also a visiting Rotarian, Tiziano Ferrucci. Hi, Tiziano. Thank you.
I get to introduce Taylor Guillot today. Taylor is a hotel sales manager with 15 years of experience in hospitality. She has a wide variety of hotel brand experience, including Marriott, Hyatt, Hilton, and IHG hotels, along with a span of department experience, including front office, housekeeping, food and beverage, revenue management, business travel, and group sales. Driven by her passion for true guest service, Taylor enjoys new challenges and learning different markets. She excels at identifying client needs, handling high-priority accounts, and building referral networks. Looking forward, Taylor aims to grow her experience in revenue management. Outside of work, she enjoys working with animals and wildlife conservation, running, and will be welcoming a baby girl into the world very soon. Taylor is excited to get involved with the community in Tulsa and find opportunities to help bring more kindness into the world. Fun fact, one of Taylor's first adult jobs was an animal control officer. Will you please join me in welcoming Taylor to our club?
Welcome to our club, Taylor. I think you'll find a lot of good people in this club, and I hope that all of you will meet Taylor on the way out. It's good to see Assistant Governor Larry here today. Still fits just fine, looking good. It's also an honor to have an international guest today. Tiziano, if you don't mind meeting me down here, we have a quick gift for you. It says Club Geneve International. Thank you very much. Our club is in mourning today for Rotarian Bryant Bynum, who recently passed. Bryant was a valued and active member of our club, most recently with Shop with the Cop. We also offer our condolences this week to past President Matt Davis, who lost his mother, Marilyn Jean Inhofe Davis, at the age of 98. Ms. Davis was well known to our club, to many in this room, and she was a contributor, as I understand it, to many of our initiatives, including the Crescendo Music Awards. Information on services for both individuals are in your emails. Please keep in mind Bryant's family and Matt's family as they grieve. Thank you to our Rotarians who hosted Business Visitation Day last week. Your dedication, time, and effort in welcoming us to your workplace provides invaluable opportunities to gain firsthand insight into your respective vocations. This club started by a group of business people who would rotate their meetings, and in that spirit today, as we've expanded into the international service organization we are today, Business Visitation Day takes us back to our roots, and I think it's an important thing that our club has done, and we appreciate those who have contributed their time and have shared their place of business with fellow Rotarians. We are all aware. All right. Okay. Of course, we're all aware of the devastating fires that have ripped through the metropolitan area of Los Angeles. It has affected hundreds of homes and thousands of people. Rotary District 5280 Charitable Foundation is taking donations currently. The link is in your email. Contributions are tax deductible and will go directly to aiding and helping those who are affected. South Central Rotary Youth Exchange, also known as SCRY, holds its annual winter conference in Tulsa every year. This year's event is scheduled for Friday and Saturday, January 4th and 25th. As part of this program, Rotary Youth Exchange students from across the central United States will travel to Tulsa with conference attendees. Approximately 100 students will require housing for Friday night. Our club has a long history of recruiting host families, and many of you have taken part in the past. Our club's Youth Exchange Committee invites you to be a host. Each host family is required to accommodate at least 2 students, but can host more if desired. Hosts must undergo background checks, which are arranged and covered by the club. I spoke with Alan Whalen recently. It sounds like we probably still need a little bit of help, so please, on your way out, if you can help on short notice, let Alan know. This is one of our club's it's an initiative that our club is very proud of, so please contribute and help if possible. In February of 2018, Rotary International's Rotarian magazine featured a cover article titled, "A Peacemaker's Progress, Jimmy Carter Reflects on a Life of Service." Our nation's 39th president passed recently, leaving a legacy that embodies service above self through his lifelong commitment to serving others, fostering peace, and addressing global challenges. President Carter dedicated his life to improving the well-being of people across the world without seeking personal gain, and demonstrates selflessness in both his presidency and his post-presidential humanitarian efforts. As a president, he prioritized diplomacy and peaceful conflict resolution, and after leaving office, he was well known for the Carter Center and leaving a legacy of eradicating diseases and promoting democracy, as well as advancing human rights to underserved communities. His most well-known initiative was building homes for the Habitat for Humanity. We remember President Jimmy Carter today as he embodied service above self. It's now Sarge time. Sarge Barker, come on down.
It is me, Sarge Barker, aka Derek Frazier. It's good to be here today. I must confess that I was actually missing this wig, this hairpiece here. I thought it had been wig-napped. It was not. I was just more concerned that whatever was on top of my head finally woke up and crawled away. But the good news is I did find it, and it is now stapled on my head. So let's go and take a look at a few of our potential contestants at the Price is Rotary. First, who is this handsome fellow? It's me, and I just wanted to share that I have a new job at Newview, Oklahoma, where I'm the Financial Development Director, and if you're not familiar with Newview, they help individuals who are blind or have low vision, and if you are curious about their services, please contact me. I'd be happy to share more. Also, too, Dr. Joseph Moore, are you here with us today? If you could stand up. Thank you. We have to embarrass you just a little bit, right? Hey, thank you so much for your fine, dedicated to MSNI for delivery of medical supplies and in honor of Dr. Tim Caldwell. Thank you so much. Also, Ken Snow. Ken, are you here with us today? Oh, Ken, do you mind standing up for us real quick? We just want to honor you. Thank you so much for your contribution. He gave $250 to Above and Beyond, $250 to Shop with the Cop, and then $500 back to our general fund. So thank you so much. Now, as promised, we're going to play a Price is Rotary game, the Bullseye game. And I thought it would be fair if we had our speaker today draw who the Price is Rotary contestant is going to be. Linda Bradshaw. Come on down. Now, Linda, have you watched The Price is Right before? Okay, so then you might be familiar when we played the Bullseye game a while back ago, if you want to come over here. Now, for those who remember last time in October, we did a Bullseye game Halloween edition. Today, it's going to be the Valentine's Day edition. Now, I know you've probably bought some Valentine's Day chocolates or cards for your little sweethearts in your life, correct? So today we're going to have you play the Bullseye game. How it works is that you are going to pick 4 different items. There's 3 opportunities to win. Now, each of these items has a price behind it that you don't know about, but I want you to tell me how many times you have to purchase that item to get to the $10 to $12 range here. Does that make sense? So if you have, let's say, for example, a water bottle, and it's $3, okay? You don't know the price, but I want you to take your best guess how many times you need to purchase it to get to that $10 to $12 range. Okay? So you have 3 opportunities. Now, if you've played this game before, then you also know that the winner of this game is going to get, let's see, a $30 gift card donated by our friend Medi that could be used at Tiamo's and Cafe Olé. But we also like to up our odds a little bit here, too. And I have $20 that says Linda is going to win at the Bullseye game. Is there anyone else that would like to also donate $20? $20? All right, $40. Anyone else? 60? 80? 100? 120? All right, 140. Thank you, John. Anyone else? 160. All right, keep going. 180. All right, Linda, are you feeling a little nervous?
I'm nervous. I'm really scared now.
Okay, now before we get started, I'm going to let the studio audience know what the prizes are. Now, first we have a Russell Stover's Happy Valentine's Day Assorted Chocolate Hearts, a small little box here. That's item number 1. Number 2 are frozen 32 Valentine's Day cards that you would typically get, right, for your second grader in your life. And then we also have a Valentine's Day bowl that was right here that was used to draw your name. Finally, we have a Reese's Peanut Butter Heart right here. So I want you to choose one of these 4, and then we're going to have you take a guess which item, how many times you need to purchase it to get to the $10 to $12 range. Which one would you like to choose first, Linda?
I'm going to choose the number 4.
Number 4, the Reese's Peanut Butter Heart. How many times do we need to purchase this to get to $10 to $12, Linda? 3 times? All right. We have my assistant Daniel, 3 times. All right. The actual price is $5.99. Unfortunately, that went over the mark here on the Bullseye game, okay? All right, now, Linda, you have 2 more chances. Which one would you like to choose?
I'm going to take number 1.
Number 1, the Russell Stover's Happy Valentine's Day Heart. How many times do you need to purchase this to get to $10 to $12, Linda?
4.
4 times? Actual price, $1.99. For 4. Well, no, just per item. How much does that come out to, Daniel?
It's a little risky asking a lawyer to do the math. $7.96.
All right, so that missed out just a little bit, did not hit quite the $10 range. So, Linda, you have one more opportunity. Which one would you like to choose, the bowl or the Valentine's Day cards?
I'll take the bowl.
The bowl? Okay, so we have the bowl right here. We have it on display. The Valentine's Day bowl. To $10 to $12. How many times would we need to purchase that plastic bowl? Now, studio audience, would you like to help her out with some suggestions? Anyone? 2. So I'm hearing 5. Anyone else? 2. I'm hearing some wild answers here. Come on now.
Depends on if you get it at the dollar store. I wouldn't.
So, touche. Just a heads up for these prices, Linda, these are all what you would purchase at Reese's, okay?
That makes a big difference. I'm purchasing at Reese's. 2. 3.
3? All right, Linda, we're going to open it up. Are you ready, Daniel? The price of this is $3.69. Purchase 3 times. Does that come out to $10 to $12, Daniel?
$11.07.
Let's give Linda a hand. You won a $30 gift card, and you also helped us raise, what, $180 back to the Rotary Club of Tulsa Foundation. You can, yeah, absolutely. Do you want to think about who you want to donate it to?
I would like to donate it to Matt Davis in honor of his mother, Marilyn Inhofe Davis, because of her support for the Crescendo Music Awards for years. And she was a very special person, so I want Matt to have that from me.
Thank you. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. Hey, Linda. Thank you so much. That was wonderful. All right, now everyone, just remember too, if every time you donate back to the Rotary Club of Tulsa Foundation or pay a Sarge fine, you too can be a potential contestant on The Price is Rotary. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Sarge. Our Rotarian of the day is DJ Morrow Ingram, who has been an active member of Rotary Club of Tulsa since 1995 and a Rotarian since 1989. DJ needs no introduction. She's been involved in so many things in our club. Currently, she holds the position of Club Services Director, so if you would like to help her out in serving our meetings, please let her know. Please join me in welcoming DJ Morrow Ingram.
Thank you, President Daniel. Thanks for the bid for volunteers. I need more people. I am so excited to introduce to you our speaker today, Paul Myers, who's the Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer of the Tulsa Airports Improvement Trust. And I had the benefit of seeing his presentation ahead of time. Cool stuff going on out there. In his job, he oversees the daily operations of the trust, including the airport operations teams at Tulsa International Airport and Tulsa Riverside Airport, as well as facilities management, human resources, airport police, and technology functions. He has more than 18 years of leadership experience in aviation. He holds a bachelor's science degree in aviation, a master's in aviation, and a graduate certificate in aviation security, all from Oklahoma State University. He said, "Go Pokes." Yeah, there we go. And he also serves on the board of directors for the Oklahoma Airport Operations Association. He's an adjunct professor of aviation at Oklahoma State University and volunteers with Tulsa Area United Way. Paul?
All right, thank you, DJ. I appreciate that. You could have easily just said, I'm an Oklahoma kid that loves airplanes and airports, and I can't give up my childhood hobby. That's a little easier bio for me. The Rotary has a special place in my heart because about 21 years ago, I was an intern at Tulsa International Airport. And my boss at the time was a marketing director, and I had a marketing assistant. And they asked me to put together a presentation because they had to speak at the Tulsa Rotary downtown. And I remember, I don't know, many of you may have been at this meeting 22 years ago, but it was a presentation where I had leaving on a jet plane and the presentation, and because I was inefficient in understanding technology, I had to press it at the same time. And I was sitting over here, I think it was this room, but I was sitting over here in this corner just freaking out, hoping that I did not embarrass my boss. Everything went great, and I also stood over there and said, how does she have the courage to stand up in front of so many business leaders in our community and speak? So that marketing assistant is now our CEO, Alexis Higgins, and the marketing director at the time was Mary Smith Crofts, who is on our board of directors. And so now I get the privilege of sharing all the great work that's happening at Tulsa International Airport, Tulsa Riverside Airport, and it's a lot of fun. Let's see, okay, so who do I work for and what do we do? So we have about 149 employees at the airports, so between Riverside and Tulsa. And our employees use their talents to do work that they love, to create results that matter to them. And those results are what I'm going to share today because it impacts our community. It impacts everything that we do, everything that our community is trying to do in building our economy, opportunity. I love that Rotary has a passion for community. Our employees have that same passion. Our passion is our community. And so I work for a trust. It's the Tulsa Airports Improvement Trust. The trust runs both airports in our community, Riverside down south and Tulsa International. Our mission is to create a safe, self-supporting, and efficient airport system for the citizens of Tulsa and the surrounding area. And we're a public trust, so a Title 60 public trust. So what does that mean? That means that a long time ago, I think it was in 2014, we broke away from the city of Tulsa. And as a public trust, we have a lease agreement with the city of Tulsa that assigns the property and income of the airports for us to develop them and operate them self-sufficiently. And so that's what we do, is we take all the revenue from the airport, we reinvest it, and we work with our community leaders to say, hey, what do we need to do to support economic growth in our community and drive business value? So that's our focus area. Here's our board of trustees. The thing that I'd like to highlight here is that our board, they're all Tulsa residents. They're appointed by the mayor and confirmed by the city council. So that's our touch point to the city. Kent, I've got some numbers here. Kent's been there 11 years, Joe 13 years. Mayor Nichols, 51 days today. I did some math. So I'm like you. I'm not good with math, but I used a calculator too. 17 years for Mary Smith Crofts. That's who I mentioned earlier. And 14 years for Mr. Stava. So our board is outstanding. They're very supporting. They work with Alexis Higgins to drive the vision and strategic objectives of the airport. My staff, we implement it. That's an easy way to say it. So that's what we look like from a leadership perspective. I want to start with Riverside because it's the mightiest little airport in the land. It's the busiest airport in the state of Oklahoma. We had 271,000 operations last year in 2024. So that's a landing and a takeoff. That's a lot of operations. That's compared to TUL, which is about 91,000 in comparison. let's see, I want to show a picture of some people. So I'm going to skip around here. I've got pictures. I like pictures instead of words. I'll fill in the words. I'll try my best. But third busiest airport in the Southwest region for the FAA. So that's Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, New Mexico. I might be forgetting one. But those are some big airports. We're the third busiest airport in terms of operations. And so we're just behind Houston Intercontinental and Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. So Austin Wheeler, raise your hand. He's in the picture holding a trophy, maybe. So Austin is our airport manager. I invited him because I just think they don't get enough recognition. They have 5 people on their team, and they support all the tenants down there, and they do an outstanding job. So thank you, Austin. Appreciate that. And he's going to talk to me later about that, I'm sure. So Tulsa International Airport, no surprise, many of you have probably been there. If you don't know where it's at, it's just right over there. And I hope that if you haven't been there, go check it out. After today, I'm sure that you will. 4,900 acres. We have about 120 leases that generate about 18,000 jobs for our community. That's a large impact. Last year in 2024, 4th busiest year as far as passenger traffic goes. We were only, 414 passengers away from getting to 3rd place. So that's a couple canceled flights. And we would have been there. We would love to beat our record of the year 2000 to have the busiest air travel at Tulsa International Airport ever. And we need to get about 337 more passengers per day. That's about 7 people per flight this year to get to #1 spot to beat our 2000 record level. We think we can do it. We're hyper-focused on amplifying our brand and talking to airlines, and I'm going to discuss that in just a minute. But here's a picture of the airport. Some changes to this already down that building just on the south side. That is U.S. Aviation. There's a crane going up, and they're expanding there. The one thing that if you've noticed, if you've driven anywhere in Northeast Tulsa, is that there are cranes all over the airport. There's a lot of development happening. There's a lot of excitement and a lot of buzz. I'll talk about some of those projects in just a moment. But for now, I want to touch on air service. What do you think the top destination for, oh, I just ruined it. There you go. You're welcome. You won and you won. Okay, so it's Houston. It's kind of it's a shocking answer because people think, well, Dallas, man, we fly to Dallas so much, or Denver. It's Houston because they have 2 airports. We have about 279 people a day that travel to and from, or from Tulsa to Houston and from Houston to Tulsa. Denver's in 2nd place with 223 people. So this is our route map, and we're pretty proud of it. We have 23 nonstop destinations all over the country, but there's a glaring void, and it's the Northwest. We have been working very hard to get service in the Northwest of the United States, specifically Seattle. I'm not going to mess this up, but I'm going to click once and see what happens. What's the top unserved destination for travelers? I'm going to click. This is taking a while. It's eating up my minutes. Okay, what do you think? Seattle? Okay, you're wrong. It's San Francisco. Yeah. Come to Tulsa. We love you. I will tell you you're right if you book with us. So we have 70 people a day that travel to San Francisco or from San Francisco to Tulsa. That's quite a few. That'll fill an airplane. Our 2nd place is Seattle with 53 people. Again, can fill one of the regional jets easily, get up to Seattle 2.5 hours, no big deal. We have a team, let's see here, there we go. That team on the bottom right, that is your air service marketing team. And so they are really focused. When I talk about amplifying brand, that's what they do their best at. There are key drivers. People say, you'll get on social media and read comments all the time. And they'll say, why can't we get a service to XYZ or, ABC or whatever the code is? And it's difficult because the airlines, they are constricted by aircraft availability, aircraft crews. It's really hard right now to crew airplanes. But from a community perspective, we're hyper-focused on our economic activity. Our employment numbers are really important. Our income per capita, our tourism, and our population growth. And that's why business development is so important. And we really feel like we have the land, the space, the opportunity to grow that for the city and attract these airlines, because the more growth we can have in airline non-service, available to get to wherever you want to get to, it makes our city a little more attractive to those businesses that are out shopping for a place to land. So we've started nonstop service just recently. Now we have 2 nonstops, one on Delta, one on American. Delta launched last September of 2024. And then, if you didn't know, Southwest Airlines is launching in April to Nashville. So I'd like everyone to pull out your phone and go to southwestairlines.com, and let's get 7 people more per flight to get to Nashville. That would help us out. Make sure you park with us too. Okay. So, largest source of operating revenues at the airport. I'm going to click once, see what happens. Hangar rentals, airline landing fees, parking revenues, Shalotsky's. What do you think? Okay, parking, that's right. You guys have seen this presentation, haven't you? So, parking revenues brings in about $14 million a year to the airport revenue. And so, Shalotsky's is great, though. They pull in about $1 million, and so they're doing outstanding work. So from an administrative perspective, I love this picture, too. All those people are engineering and finance people, outside of Alexis on the bottom, and so I just feel like that's a great picture of them. But from an administration perspective, the users pay for the airport. So if you're using the airport, you're going to pay for it. Part of our mission is to be self-sustaining. We want to be really smart with our revenues. And so we've got procurement policies put in place. We publish our standards, rates, and fees. And so we're very transparent with the public. If you want to do business with us, you can go to our website. You can see how much we charge for a landing fee, to lease a building, lease land, rent a parking space, whatever it is that you want, we're transparent. From a regulatory oversight perspective, the aviation is one of the most regulated entities or businesses in the world. One, because of the safety aspect of moving people and goods around the planet, and 2, from a security perspective. So obviously you have the FAA, we've got stuff we've got to comply with there, the TSA, but we also have grant assurances. There's 39 grant assurances that we assure to the FAA, hey, you give us dollars to support our airfield, and we assure that we're going to comply with these 39 assurances. If we don't, then we lose funding from the FAA, and we have to pay back every dollar that the FAA's ever given us. So right now for Riverside, as an example, Riverside Airport, that's about $27 million that the FAA has invested over a 20-year period, that if Austin decided he just didn't care about anything and didn't want to comply, we'd have to pay the FAA. Thankfully for us, Austin cares. So very regulated, but we also get overseen by the Oklahoma Department of Aviation, the Oklahoma Corporation Commission, environmental policies, and the City of Tulsa Title I. That's all driven by what we do. Here's our sources of funding. So as you can see, passenger airline fees are about $9.6 million. I'll just go through a few of these here. The parking and revenue one, as you see, that's going to be parking and rental car operations. $20.4 million. In our parking, we have 4,800 spaces of parking available for our customers. We also have valet. We have about 235 spots for valet. And so parking is really important to us. And we know we reach capacity. This past summer, we reached capacity like 2 or 3 times during busy times. And what people want when they travel is predictability, right? You book a ticket on American, you want to know that when you show up to the airport, you have a place to park, the facility looks great, you're not going to be inconvenienced by the TSA, and they work for the government, not for me, just want to make that point. And that, if you use the restroom, it's clean, there's restaurants available, and that you can have information available to you to know that your flight's going to be on time or delayed, right? It's predictability. It eases the tension, it eases the stress, and we are just so focused on creating predictable travel environments for our passengers. And with parking, that's the first step, because the airport is the front door to our city. It's the first place someone sees from out of town, like our friend from Switzerland, right? And it's the last place he'll see when he leaves. So we want to leave good impressions, and that's what we focus on. So how many passengers a day or a month traveling through TO require wheelchair assistance from accessibility? How many would you think?
1,200 getting on, 300 getting off.
Okay. That's pretty good. I don't know what that math is, but we're going to click the button. All right. Okay, 4,800 people. It's a lot. It's a lot. And so we are focused. We want to provide services for everybody at the airport, whether you're able-bodied or not. And we do that through a number of services. Wings for Autism, that's where I talk about that predictability. It's allowing families with grown adults or children with autism, they can bring them to the airport, and we work with the TSA. We have pilots that will bring airplanes up, get them familiar with the travel environment. It's so important. Sunflower Lanyard Program, if you have a lanyard on, our staff are trained that if you see someone with a sunflower lanyard, it means they have a hidden disability. And so they're trained to go say, do you need any assistance today? How can I help you? ARIA is a visual interpreting service that we pay for our customers, where it's for blind or hard of seeing people, and they can go on an app and they hold their phone up and they can transit around the airport. It makes it very easy for them. And we've just installed a couple years ago a guest services area. So this includes our animal relief area, family restrooms, a mother's nursing room, a sensory room, and a quiet room. You're probably asking, where is that? We're working on wayfinding, but once you go through security and you go to either concourse, it's a U. As you turn to go towards your gate, there's stairs that go downstairs on both sides, or there's an elevator. Go down there, check it out. That's where all this stuff is. If you need a quiet place, the rooms, they're quiet. They're not padded, but they are quiet. And so you can go down there and get some rest before your flight. But I think a lot of our customers feel like that's a place they shouldn't be, right? It's like, there's nobody down here. But go check it out next time you fly through. And then one thing that was on that slide, I don't want to mess with this, I don't want to mess it up, but it's our visitor pass. So we implemented a visitor pass a couple years ago, and so it's like the pre-9/11 days. You can go on our website, just search TUL Visitor Pass. You'll get a pass, and you can go through security. So if you're not traveling, and so if you want to go, here's a date night trip for all you Valentine's lovers. Go get a visitor pass, and we have Chili's and Shalotskis, and your spouse or your boyfriend or girlfriend will love you for it. What a date night at the airport, right? But free of charge. We won't charge you a dime. So if you don't take anything out of today, take that. Propel TUL. So obviously, a lot of exciting things happening at the airport. And so we wanted to capture that to say, hey, for the community, you can go to one place to see what's going on. We put some handouts on the tables, but if you go to propeltul.com, you can see any project, funding sources, status, what it is, why we're doing it, but I want to cover a few of them. The first one is the largest project in our airport's history, which is a new air traffic control tower. And so this is nearly $113 million project. This tower is going to be 225 feet tall. That's about 100 feet taller than our current tower. And we expect it to start operating in October of 2027. I've got some pictures here. Here's our board last August doing a groundbreaking. And then here's the base of it. Today, we have a crane up, and we're going vertical today. And so it's preformed concrete that's shipped in, and they place it. And then the tower cab, the piece that sits on top where the controllers work, is being built on site, on the ground. And we're going to bring in a 300-foot crane that will lift it up, and we're just going to pray that those bolts align, and that we can tighten it down. And so it'll be a fun day for us when that happens. But this is the base. A lot of rebar, a lot of steel, a lot of concrete right now. It's going all the way down to bedrock. This thing will not go anywhere. A great tornado shelter for sure. And so what does a new tower mean for us, right? You're like, oh, great, you get a new tower. The controllers have a new space. It means new opportunity. Business development. Daniel Regan, many of you know Daniel. He's such an asset to our community. He is focused on bringing those businesses I talked about to Tulsa. This is our North Development area, and so one of the pictures I showed earlier with U.S. Aviation, and it was a big open field, that's what this area is. This is a concept, but a new tower allows height, and so we can have line of sight issues that would prevent prevent bigger hangars to be built or hangars in certain areas. Those will go away. Those issues go away for us. Now we can bring in companies and say, hey, you want to build a new aircraft fleet type and revolutionize aviation travel, or you want to bring in your advanced air mobility and build a factory here? We have 200 acres right here ready to go. And we've got several thousand acres east of Mingo. And so we've got the land and we've got runway access, which is crucial for these aviation companies that are looking to move. And there are a lot of aviation companies looking to move, especially from the West Coast. They want to be here. We're centrally located. We've got the people. We've got people educated in aerospace engineering and all facets of business. And so it's a great time. One of those examples is Norsun. So speaking about international reach, Norsun is a Norwegian company that makes solar panel wafers. They're the wafers that go in. Don't ask me what that is, but it's a wafer that goes in a solar panel. We expect this to open up in 2026. They're investing about $620 million into this facility, and they're going to have 320 jobs. So that Daniel Regan, superstar, bringing this company from Norway to the United States, and especially to Tulsa. Something recently that you've likely seen in the news, this gets even cooler than solar panels, in my opinion, is a new Agile. It's called Agile, and they're going to build a space test center at TUL on the east side of Mingo. And so they're going to invest initially $20 million in design and concept and investment for construction. We're not sure how many jobs, but these are, they're going to do propulsion testing and then rocket engine development. And we're not talking Elon Musk rockets here that are sending massive rockets into space. These are the thruster rockets. These are smaller rockets that thrust satellites or anything in orbit. And so it's exciting. Space is the new frontier. Like we're here. I have a 13-year-old, 10-year-old, and a 5-year-old, and my kids are like, Dad, do you think one day I can go to space? And for them, the answer is yes. You can work in space, and it's going to be here in Tulsa. This is the first step. This will be a catalyst for growth for our community in the space race. No doubt about it. So we're really excited about them coming to TUL. I was talking with somebody before the meeting. This is our new customs facility. And so if you've been at the airport, you've likely seen this going up on the south side of the terminal. And so this is, again, transformation to our 1960s terminal in action. This is a $41 million project. We expect it to be done about this time next year. It'll give us a new gate for air traffic, and then the right side of the picture is where customs and immigration will be their new facility, their new offices. They told us in 2016 that it was woefully inadequate, their $1,200 shack or 1,200 square foot shack. And so we made plans to build this for them, but we also wanted to be long-term thinkers. And so we said, let's add a customs facility to it. So that way, if we can entice airlines to have a nonstop to Cancun or Cozumel, we've got the ability to do that. And that's our main focus. And so we are hopeful that in 2026 and moving into 2027, we'll have a nonstop to Cancun. So that'll be exciting. We have about 50 people a day that fly to Cancun. Our CEO is one of them. She's down there right now. Good for her. She needed a break, honestly. So here's the interior of it. It's going to be great. And so what'll happen is if you're arriving on an international flight, you'll collect your bags, or you'll go downstairs, collect your bags, go through immigration, come back, and then exit through where the A meter greeter is now. And then I'm going to scroll through the rest of this pretty quick because I know you might have questions. This is wayfinding. We're updating wayfinding. Our roadways have it right now on departures and arrivals. We're working right now to do pre-security to get all of our wayfinding correctly. It's like people lose their minds when they walk in an airport. It's like, where's the bathroom? Where's the TSA checkpoint? It's right there. So hopefully wayfinding will help with that. We're building, this was in the news recently as well. We're thinking about that next generation, that excitement. I don't know what could be more exciting than playing on a playground with an F-16 landing and taking off right next to you. So we have this area ready to go. We're fundraising right now because we've got some investment from our operating dollars, and the state's going to throw in some money, but we need to raise some funds in the community to build this. But again, it's getting kids excited about what we have here in Tulsa. And then this is a new sign that if you've been to the airport, you may have seen it. I don't have actual pictures of it. That's happening this afternoon. And so I've got, we wanted to create a welcoming environment for our community when they come to the airport. Before it was a rock wall, it said, "Welcome to Tulsa International Airport." You could hardly see it. This now transforms that. And then if you imagine driving down Airport Drive and you'll see the facade of the new customs facility, it'll really change the look of Tulsa. And so a lot of great things happening. At night, it even gets more transformation. We can change the colors, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We can do all pink. We can do St. Patty's Day all green. We can do whatever we want. So pretty exciting stuff. Who's ever been stuck in the rotating doors at the airport? Anyone? Yeah, sorry about that. So we're fixing that problem. We've got 4 new doors in operation as of last week. We're doing 4 more, so we're getting rid of the rotating doors at the airport. We've got an escape lounge coming in that's going to be post-security, so if you've got certain credit cards or clubs, you can go in and enjoy the amenities that'll have, food and drinks and all that kind of stuff. And then the convenience store, that's going to be built towards the end of this year. They're in planning and design. It's going to go right on the corner as you exit Highway 11 and kind of right across from Fine Airport parking and south of the Hilton. And so that's pretty much it. I will say I want to recognize that intern that sat at the 21 years ago and was freaked out. That's why I invited Connor, because he's our intern today. And so 25 years from now, he'll probably be up here talking about that. But just remember, go use that gate pass. If you want to look at any of this stuff, the gate pass is great. You can come walk around the facility, and it is your community asset. We're a trust that works for you. That's it. It's a community asset, and we try to nurture it and develop it and grow it so we can improve our community and have a bright future for our kids. And I appreciate your time.
Oh,
if you'd like. If we have time.
yeah, we got 5 minutes. We can probably
Okay.
do questions. 2 questions.
All right.
Okay, if you have this data, what are the top 3 destinations for private flights leaving Tulsa International Airport? And the second question, we operated into your runways in Mohawk Park. I use flight radar to figure out what's taking off. Do you have some things make very big noise?
Yes, so as far as private operations, we can see that data, but it's not something that we necessarily track from a private charter operation standpoint. But we do use a system, what is it called, Austin? VerTower. So we have a system called VerTower. And VerTower allows us to, it's like Flight Radar 24 or any of that, but we can see home-based airplanes, we can see when they're landing and taking off, we can count the number of operations. And then if we get noise complaints, so like Tulsa Riverside is surrounded by communities, by neighborhoods. And those, because it's home to 4 flight schools, or 5 flight schools, with Spartan being the largest, it's nonstop flying. 271 flights a year, that's nonstop flying. And so we have some neighbors, that they are concerned about the noise, and they file a noise complaint. But we use the system because we can put their address in, and we can nail down to, it was this flight, this day, and this pilot. We can call and say, hey, were you low? Here's what we're seeing. Can we change your operation at all, to improve the environment for those citizens? But that's how we track it. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
I'm sure you've had this question before, but what about a direct flight from here to Kansas City?
Yeah, so we used to have a direct flight to Kansas City on Southwest Airlines. And Kansas City is not one of the really focus areas. And so our marketing team goes to each airline, and they present to us what they see. there are hub strategies that these airlines use, and so Kansas City, although it's far away, it is a competing market for us, just as St. Louis, Northwest Arkansas, Oklahoma City, but the traffic just is not there for us for Kansas City. But you can get there connecting through anywhere else. I'm sorry. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Paul. It sounds like the international terminal won't be ready quite in time, but my guess is that if you could arrange some direct flights to Calgary, Canada, sometime around June 21st to 25th, President-elect Carl could put together a sizable entourage to the Rotary International Conference.
All right, we'll see what we can do.
A book celebrating today's program will be presented to our partner in education school, Celia Clinton Elementary. This week's book is The Ultimate Book of Airplanes and Airports. It's a big one. It's going to be popular with the kids. Next Wednesday, January 29th, we will not be meeting here. Instead, we will meet at Junior Achievement for the 5th Wednesday Service Above Self Day. Rotarians celebrate Service Day as a dedicated occasion to live out service above self. The day will bring members together to tackle community challenges through meaningful projects and initiatives. I know that many of us have visited Junior Achievement before, and Brian will put us to work doing something very good for his organization. Upcoming programs after that, February 5th, Edurne Pineda, the Mexican consulate in Oklahoma City, will be here to talk about, as a representative of the country of Mexico and as a diplomat. Her area does cover Tulsa, so we are looking forward to that program. And February 12th, Brian Kurtz, President and CEO of the Downtown Tulsa Partnership, will give us an update. Special thanks this week to gold sponsors, We Be Trees, Tim Knoll, Max Electric Supply, Jack McGlumphy, Coldwell Banker Select, Sheree Gardner, OK Ethics, Mary Lytle, and to silver meeting sponsors, J.D. Young, Doug Stewart, Trust Company of Oklahoma, Michael Hairston, Allen Edwards Incorporated, Chip Edwards, and to bronze sponsors, Hanson and Holmes, Richard Holmes, Hearts for Hearing, Kaylee Clark, Interim Healthcare, Terry Heritage, and John Croissant, All-State Agency, John Croissant. Meetings today, the Board of Trustees will meet today in room 231. So the baseball world lost another legend last week in Bob Uecker. He entered the Baseball Hall of Fame as a broadcaster, but he did spend 6 years as a player in the major leagues with limited success. It formed the basis of his self-deprecating humor that endeared him to the nation, not just baseball fans, but everyone, including his many appearances on the Johnny Carson show, where he got the name Mr. Baseball. I wanted to end today's meeting with 2 quotes of Bob's, and I will avoid, as always, attempting to imitate his voice. First is one of my favorite jokes of his. He told this many times, including at his Hall of Fame induction speech. He said, quote, "My 2 boys are just like me. In their championship Little League game, one of them struck out 3 times, and the other one had an error and allowed the winning run to score. They lost the championship, and I couldn't have been more proud." On a more serious note, later in his life, I want to leave you with this quote of his. He said, quote, "I hope the fans have enjoyed listening as much as I've enjoyed doing the games. I don't ever go to the park where I don't have a good day. I don't like losing, but I don't think I ever go to the park where I have a bad day, not even once." I agree. Thank you for joining our meeting today. Be sure to meet our new member on your way out, and remember to meet us at Junior Achievement next week. Thank you.